Do you ever feel like you're doing everything right with your diet? Eating what you think are healthy foods, but still feeling a bit sluggish? Maybe your energy levels aren't what they used to be, or you're just not feeling as vibrant as you could. It's a common story for many men as they get a bit older, isn't it? We try to make good choices, maybe reach for that piece of fruit instead of a biscuit, thinking we're giving our body the best. But sometimes, the foods we think are helping us the most might actually be holding us back, especially as our bodies change after 60. It can be frustrating, trying to navigate all the conflicting health advice out there, feeling like you're missing a piece of the puzzle that could make a real difference. Well, what if I told you that one seemingly innocent fruit, a fruit many of us have eaten our whole lives and consider incredibly healthy, might actually be one of the worst choices for male health once you're over 60? It sounds surprising, even a little unbelievable, right? But according to some health perspectives, particularly focusing on how our bodies metabolize things differently as we age, this common fruit could be contributing to some of those very issues we just talked about. In this video, we're going to look closely at this specific fruit, understand why it might be causing problems, and explore what you can do about it. This isn't about banning foods forever, but about making informed choices that truly support your health and energy as you age. Make sure you stick around until the very end, because discovering this worst fruit might just surprise you and change the way you think about your daily diet. Let's start peeling back the layers on this, shall we? As we navigate our 60s and beyond, our bodies undergo some significant shifts. Our metabolism, for instance, isn't quite as revved up as it used to be. We might not be as physically active, or our muscle mass might have decreased slightly over the years, both of which impact how our body handles energy, particularly from carbohydrates and sugars. Think of it like this: when you were younger, you might have eaten just about anything and burned it off without a second thought. Your body was perhaps more efficient at processing sugars, your insulin response was sharper, and your energy needs were likely higher. But now, that quick burst of energy from certain foods, especially those high in simple sugars, can hit differently. Instead of being rapidly used up for fuel, that sugar might linger in your bloodstream, potentially leading to blood sugar spikes and crashes. These aren't just minor inconveniences. Over time, frequent blood sugar fluctuations can contribute to a whole host of issues that become more common as we age, like increased inflammation throughout the body, challenges with maintaining a healthy weight, and even impacting our energy levels and cognitive function. You might eat something sweet, feel a quick jolt of energy, and then find yourself feeling tired and drained shortly after. This roller coaster isn't ideal for sustained energy or overall metabolic health. Now, let's talk specifically about fruit. For decades, we've been told fruit is essential, a cornerstone of a healthy diet, and packed with vitamins, minerals, and fiber. And absolutely, many fruits are nutritional powerhouses. They provide antioxidants that fight damage in our cells, vitamins that support everything from our immune system to our vision, and fiber that aids digestion. However, not all fruits are created equal, especially when we consider their sugar content and how quickly that sugar is absorbed into the bloodstream. This is where the concept of the glycemic index comes into play. The glycemic index, or GI, measures how quickly a food causes our blood sugar levels to rise. Foods with a high GI cause a rapid spike, while those with a low GI lead to a slower, more gradual increase. As men over 60, our goal is often to keep our blood sugar levels as stable as possible throughout the day. Avoiding those sharp peaks and valleys is key to maintaining consistent energy, supporting heart health, and reducing the risk of developing conditions like type 2 diabetes, which becomes more prevalent with age. Consider the difference between a handful of berries and a larger, sweeter fruit. Berries, like blueberries or raspberries, are relatively low in sugar and high in fiber, meaning their impact on blood sugar is minimal. They deliver a steady stream of nutrients without causing a big spike. Now, think about some of the more tropical or very ripe fruits. While delicious and nutritious in other ways, their sugar content can be significantly higher. And in some cases, the type of sugar and lower fiber content means that sugar hits your bloodstream much faster. For a younger, very active person, that might be fine. Their body can handle it efficiently. But for a man over 60 whose metabolic flexibility might be reduced, that same fruit could be putting an unnecessary strain on his system. It forces the pancreas to pump out more insulin to bring the blood sugar down. And over time, this constant demand can contribute to insulin resistance, where the body's cells become less responsive to insulin. This is a major step towards prediabetes and type 2 diabetes. Furthermore, excess sugar, even from seemingly healthy sources like fruit, when not used immediately for energy, can be converted and stored as fat. This is particularly true for fructose, the primary sugar found in fruit. When consumed in large quantities, our liver is the main organ that metabolizes fructose, while small amounts from whole fruit are generally well handled. A high intake of fructose can overload the liver, potentially leading to the production of triglycerides, a type of fat in the blood that's linked to heart disease, and even contributing to fatty liver disease. As men age, they are already at a higher risk for cardiovascular issues. So anything that adds to that risk, even subtly over time, is worth examining. It's not just about weight gain. It's about the metabolic consequences that affect our heart, our energy, and our overall vitality. So, when we talk about a worst fruit for men over 60, we're not talking about poison. We're talking about a fruit that, due to its specific composition, high sugar, particularly certain types of sugar, and perhaps a higher glycemic index, might pose more metabolic challenges for an aging male body compared to other fruit choices. It's about understanding that while fruit is generally good, the type and quantity matter significantly, especially as our bodies change. It's about making smarter choices that align with the physiological realities of being over 60. This leads us directly to considering which specific fruit might fall into this category, and why it earns this somewhat controversial title, which we'll explore further as we continue this conversation. Now, building on what we've discussed about metabolism, blood sugar, and the glycemic index, let's pinpoint the fruit that often gets flagged as potentially problematic for men over 60. And the fruit I'm referring to, the one that some doctors and nutritionists suggest caution with for this age group, is the banana aqah. Now, before you gasp or click away, let's be clear, a banana is not inherently evil. It's packed with potassium, vitamin B6, vitamin C, and fiber, especially when it's not overly ripe. However, for men over 60, there are specific reasons why bananas, particularly when eaten frequently or in large amounts, might not be the best choice compared to other fruits, and could even be considered one of the worst in a relative sense, especially if you have underlying metabolic concerns. The primary issue with bananas, from this perspective, is their sugar content and their glycemic index, particularly as they ripen. A medium banana contains around 14 grams of sugar, much of which is in the form of glucose, fructose, and sucrose. While this provides quick energy, that quick energy is exactly the point of concern for older men whose bodies are less efficient at managing rapid sugar surges. As a banana ripens, its starches convert into sugars, increasing both the total sugar content and its glycemic index. A very ripe banana can have a GI score comparable to some sugary snacks, leading to a faster and higher blood sugar spike than, say, an apple or a handful of almonds. Why is this particularly relevant for men over 60? Several reasons. Firstly, as we discussed, metabolic rate slows down. We simply don't burn calories as quickly. Secondly, insulin sensitivity tends to decrease with age. This means your body's cells don't respond as effectively to insulin, making it harder to clear sugar from your bloodstream. Consistently, high blood sugar levels can lead to advanced glycation end products, or ages, which contribute to inflammation and cellular damage throughout the body, impacting everything from your skin to your organs. For men, this inflammation can also affect prostate health, cardiovascular function, and energy levels. The quick sugar hit from a banana might give you a temporary boost, but it can also contribute to that cycle of blood sugar dysregulation that, over time, can exacerbate these age-related health issues. Think about a typical breakfast, maybe some cereal or toast, and a banana. This combination can start your day with a significant sugar load, setting you up for potential energy crashes later on and putting that metabolic strain on your system right from the start. For a man over 60 trying to manage his weight, maintain stable energy, and support his long-term health, this might not be the most strategic choice. Furthermore, while bananas do contain fiber, especially less ripe ones, compared to fruits like berries, apples with the skin on, or pears, the sugar-to-fiber ratio can be less favorable in ripe bananas. Fiber helps slow down the absorption of sugar, mitigating the blood sugar spike. So, a fruit that is high in sugar but low in fiber will have a more dramatic impact on blood sugar than a fruit with a similar amount of sugar but much more fiber. This is another reason why bananas can be tricky for this age group. It's also worth considering the fructose content. While fructose from whole fruit is better than from processed foods, high amounts can still be an issue for the liver, potentially contributing to insulin resistance and fat accumulation, especially in the liver. A medium banana contains a notable amount of fructose. While you're not likely to get fatty liver just from eating a banana, if it's part of a diet already high in sugars from other sources like drinks, processed foods, or even other fruits, the cumulative effect can be detrimental over time, adding another layer of metabolic burden for men over 60. So, the worst fruit label isn't about saying bananas are junk food. It's about recognizing that for an aging male metabolism, the specific combination of relatively high sugar content, a potentially high glycemic index, especially when ripe, and the impact on blood sugar regulation makes it a fruit to approach with caution. Particularly compared to alternatives, it might be contributing subtly to those feelings of low energy, difficulty managing weight, or setting the stage for more serious metabolic issues down the road. Understanding this allows you to make different choices, perhaps opting for fruits that offer great nutrition with less of a sugar impact, or enjoying bananas in a way that minimizes these potential downsides, which we can explore further. Okay, so we've identified the banana as a fruit that, while nutritious, can pose challenges for men over 60 due to its sugar content and glycemic impact. Now, what does this mean for you? It doesn't mean you can never eat a banana again. It means being mindful and making conscious choices. If you love bananas, consider when and how you eat them. Eating a banana on its own, especially first thing in the morning or as a quick snack when your blood sugar might already be low, can lead to a rapid spike. A better approach might be to pair it with something that slows down sugar absorption, like a source of protein or healthy fat. Think having half a banana with a handful of nuts or seeds, or slicing a small amount into some plain Greek yogurt. The protein and fat help buffer the sugar impact, leading to a more gradual rise in blood sugar. Also, consider the ripeness. A slightly green or just ripe banana has more resistant starch and less sugar than a very ripe one. If you choose to eat bananas, opting for less ripe ones can make a difference in their metabolic effect. And perhaps, instead of a large banana, stick to a small one or even half of a medium one, especially if you're not very active on a given day. Portion size matters significantly when dealing with higher sugar fruits. But beyond adjusting how you eat bananas, this insight is really about empowering you to make more informed fruit choices overall. If the goal is stable energy, reduced inflammation, and supporting healthy aging, then focusing on fruits that are lower in sugar and higher in fiber and antioxidants might be a more consistent strategy. Think about making berries your best friend. Strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, They are nutritional powerhouses, relatively low in sugar, and packed with fiber and disease-fighting antioxidants. An apple with the skin on is another excellent choice, providing good fiber and a moderate amount of sugar that's released more slowly. Pears, cherries, and grapefruit are also generally good options to incorporate regularly. Mixing up your fruit intake ensures you get a wide spectrum of vitamins and minerals, rather than relying heavily on one or two types. This principle extends beyond just fruit. It's about understanding how different carbohydrates impact your body as you age. White bread, sugary drinks, pastries. These all contribute to the same blood sugar roller coaster that can be detrimental over time. Choosing whole, unprocessed foods, focusing on getting enough protein and healthy fats, and opting for complex carbohydrates like vegetables and legumes will provide sustained energy and better support your metabolic health than foods that cause rapid sugar spikes. Remember, this isn't about deprivation, it's about optimization. It's about giving your body the support it needs to thrive in your 60s and beyond. Small adjustments in your diet can have a cumulative positive effect on your energy levels, your mood, your weight, and your overall health. Simply being aware that not all healthy foods impact everyone the same way, especially as we age, is the first step. For many men over 60, shifting away from relying on bananas as a staple and exploring other wonderful fruits, or being more strategic about how bananas are consumed, can be a simple yet impactful change. It's important to listen to your own body, too. Pay attention to how you feel after eating certain foods. Do you feel energized or do you crash? Do certain foods seem to make you feel inflamed or sluggish? Keeping a simple food diary for a week can sometimes reveal patterns you didn't notice before. And of course, always consult with your doctor or a registered dietitian before making significant changes to your diet, especially if you have existing health conditions like diabetes or heart disease. They can provide personalized advice based on your individual needs and health status. The key takeaway here is that while bananas offer nutrients, their sugar profile makes them something for men over 60 to be mindful of, particularly in quantity and frequency. And exploring other fruits might offer a better metabolic return on investment for your health journey at this stage of life. So, we've explored why that common banana, often seen as a health go-to, might not be the ideal fruit choice for men over 60 primarily because of its sugar content and impact on blood sugar regulation in a body whose metabolism has changed. We've talked about how those rapid sugar spikes and crashes can contribute to issues like energy dips, inflammation, and put a strain on your metabolic system over time, potentially impacting weight management and increasing the risk of conditions like type 2 diabetes. The key message isn't fear or restriction, but awareness and empowerment. Knowing that fruits aren't all metabolically the same, and that a banana, while full of potassium and vitamins, might not be the best choice for you specifically over 60 allows you to make subtle but powerful shifts in your diet. It's about choosing fruits that support steady energy, like those fantastic berries, apples, or pears, or enjoying bananas in a way that minimizes their sugar impact, perhaps paired with protein or fat, and being mindful of ripeness and portion size. Making these kinds of small, informed adjustments can truly make a difference in how you feel every day. It's not about drastic diets, it's about sustainable, smart choices that honor the changes your body is experiencing. It's about giving yourself the best chance to maintain vibrant energy, support your long-term health, and feel your best as you continue to live a full and active life. You have the power to influence your health through what you eat. And understanding nuances like how different fruits affect your body is a valuable tool in your health toolkit. Remember, aging isn't about decline. It's about adapting and optimizing. By paying attention to how foods like fruit impact your unique metabolism, you're taking a proactive step towards feeling stronger, having more consistent energy, and supporting your body's health for years to come. Don't let frustration or confusion about diet get you down. Simple changes, like rethinking your go-to fruit, can be incredibly effective starting points. What are your thoughts on this? Did this information about bananas surprise you? Are there other fruits you've wondered about or noticed different effects from as you've gotten older? Share your experiences and questions in the comments below. It's always helpful to hear from others and share what we've learned. Your experience might just help someone else who is trying to navigate similar dietary questions. If you found this information helpful or thought-provoking, please give this video a thumbs up. Liking the video helps others who might benefit from this information find it. And if you want to learn more about how to eat and live well in your 60s, 70s, and beyond, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're always sharing practical tips and insights to help you live your healthiest, happiest life at every age. Thank you for joining me today. Keep making those informed choices. Be kind to yourself and live your best life.